Well, good morning. I'm going to put this up on both channels, so everybody, welcome to you. I was going to make one probably later on. It's Memorial Day at the cemetery. I always go out to the cemetery on Memorial Day, where my father and grandfather are buried. I've been going to graveyards since I was a little kid on Memorial Day to decorate the graves of family and others. Just a family tradition that we have. And I wasn't going to make another one, but something I just saw in the news made me want to do this one. There was a mass shooting in Taft, Oklahoma, early this morning, shortly after midnight last night. Have you all heard about it? Probably not. Probably won't. A mass shooting. 8 people shot, 1 died. One of the people who was shot, 9-year-old, hopefully they won't die. Taft, Oklahoma is, from what one of the interviewed people said, a community of about overfly. About 220 people, something like that. It's somewhere south of Tulsa. And they said that it wasn't somebody in their community. It was somebody who came in from outside their community. Now, this is just why I'm reporting what they said, but they should know they live there. And started shooting the place up. Now, you won't hear about this, probably. It certainly won't make the national news, because the colors aren't right. You see, it's not going to support this idea that we're being force-fed that the most dangerous thing in the world, or the greatest threat to America, is the angry white male. Well, there are a lot of us white males who are angry, and there are a lot of black males who are angry, and there are a lot of white females who are angry, and a lot of black females who are angry, and a lot of males and females of every shade and color and ethnicity and that you can imagine who are angry. We're not angry at people that we want to shoot. We are angry at the collapse of the culture and our country. There's been several other mass shootings in the last few days you probably haven't heard of, because they weren't done by an angry young male with a certain kind of gun. They were done at parties, things like that. I don't remember where they all were. I just tick them off. Well, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. There was a tremendous mass shooting last night, and the night before, and the night before, and the night before. In every major city in our country. Now, this one happened in a small town, which I want to point out to my small town brothers and sisters. Small towns don't make you safe anymore. Andy Griffith has left the building. It is a total collapse of our country, of the culture that used to hold us together. You know, we always had, even during the days when we were separated by law, most people, regardless of race, sex, ethnicity, political party, religion, whatever, most people felt pretty much the same about the major issues. You could not find parents that would teach their kids it was okay to lie on a college exam or entrance test, right? You couldn't find parents who told their kids, for the most part, that it was okay to steal. You couldn't find parents who raised their kids to say, well, if you're angry and life is giving you a hard row, it's all right for you to go out and rob and steal and burn down people's businesses. Couldn't find it. Most parents raised their kids. They wanted their kids to have a better life than they had, to be able to access the opportunities of the greatest country that's ever been. And I might qualify that now. I'm not going to say that it's not, but I'm not going to hold it up like America, you know. No. My idea's been changing on that for a long time. Some of you don't realize that. But they felt pretty much the same on the major issues. People don't do that now. People are not. And it doesn't have anything to do with color or sex or race or religion or anything like that. It is a systemic disease in our country and countries around the world that first ignored, then allowed, then enabled antisocial, animalistic behavior, excused it, and then developed an entire entertainment industry that celebrates it. This is why our country is going down the tubes. And this is why our country may not have any chance to reclaim itself. You know, we celebrate Memorial Day to honor those who have died in the service of our country, those military. There's another peace officers Memorial Day that I didn't say anything on for a couple of reasons. And I've had many is a relative term. I know a number of people who gave their lives in law enforcement to save others. But we celebrate Memorial Day to honor those who have fallen, originally in battle, but in military service. Many of you may not know that it was really started, the first acknowledged Memorial Day was in Virginia in 1861. Confederate women went out and decorated graves, and then in South Carolina, and then in Mississippi, and then in others. And then it finally caught on in 1863 in the North at Gettysburg. But I was going to make one on that. I don't know if I will or not. But how many people have died? You know what we need a real Memorial Day for? All of these innocent people who are slaughtered in our country every day. Every day. And I'll include the millions of babies who have been murdered before they were born. They were already alive. They were alive in God's hands. Many of us wonder whether God has withdrawn his blessing and his protection from our country. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how he couldn't. That's probably for another video. And I will make that video. I'll probably make it on American Reversion, because it really doesn't have a lot to do with preparedness the way we think of it. But the real Memorial Day, or I won't say the real, because I don't want to take away from the meaning of this one, but there needs to be a Memorial Day for every person who is slaughtered in this country every day. Because of politics. And that's what it is. All of this has been brought by politics. People trying to get power and persuasion by pandering to different groups, by subjecting certain groups to hate, by pitting us against each other. We need a Memorial Day like that. And it needs to be every day, probably. Anyway, you're not going to hear about a lot of this stuff. We're going to have another one of those media-worthy events, no doubt. As soon as this last one simmers down a little bit, I'll kick another one off. But a mass killings happen every day. Mass beyond what people think about. You all have a good Memorial Day. Figure out what you want to do with your life, with your family, with your community, and with your country. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.